what you're saying is just the overall concept of putting on this mask and performing for love, yet being frustrated that the other person doesn't
Yeah.
love you for who you are. But it's like,
I
how
love the
can
way
they?
you
I've done this too, and so many other people have, but it's like they can't see you for who you are if you're wearing that mask. Because in a way, it is manipulative, not in a intentional, deceptive way, but it's a protective mechanism. I have no filter these days. Yeah, it's a fake way of bonding, really.
quiet.
So,
Did not go well.
and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back that led to my total emotional breakdown. Thank you, Melissa, for listening to your intuition.
My mom being dead.
And Angie.
Just see you next time.
See you next time. Okay, let's go fast. 1, 2, 3.
Unquiet soul. Okay. Okay. Hello. We were just talking about how sleepy we are. I'm in the afternoon slump, and you haven't been awake all that long.
Yeah, I'm in my morning slump.
Um, well, I want to tell you my unquiet confession is that I went to the gym today for the first time in, couldn't tell you, years? Two
Oh,
years? Yeah.
well,
So
first
I'm
of all,
excited about that.
congratulations.
Yeah, but I'm really tired because I woke up to an alarm on a day I didn't have to because my daughter is still out of school for fall break for a couple days. And but me and my oldest kid, we went and I feel good about it. Didn't like overexert myself, like didn't like go like what I would have done in my 20s or 30s, like the first day back at the
Yeah.
gym. 45 is different. And so I said, Melissa, we shall not do all or nothing bullshit right now. We're gonna ease our way back in. But I'm tired. But not, it's crazy, not as tired as I usually am at this time of day from just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm excited. Do you have anything?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I'm proud of you for going, and also because I'm an all or nothing type of person. Because even after I came back from vacation and didn't work out for 2 weeks, the first time I went back to the gym, I had to do the same thing. Like, don't go crazy. Like, it's fine. Just ease back into it. So I know, like, it's a specific mindset that you have to be in to do that.
Yeah. Oh, and it really is. And that's our Virgo shit right there. Because like I had to have that talk with my little Virgo moon child. But yeah, I just know the way my body has been feeling and stuff that I was going to do so much more harm than good if I were to have tried. Like I mean I did a full workout, but I did it with like 5-pound weights instead of like how much?
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have even been able to do more than that. But like on squats, I know I could have squatted more than 20 pounds, but I was like, we shan't do that. And when I did the treadmill, I literally just walked. Like at the last 10 minutes, I did like do an incline of 1 and, was up to where like I was breathing a little harder, but I was like, we are not in running shape in any way, shape, or form. So like we're not even gonna attempt that. My son was over here like doing intervals. So I was like, good for you, baby, but not gonna be me. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah, that's smart. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. It did take, like, real effort. Well, no, not really. Not really. Not physically, like, I wasn't even gonna pretend, but mentally, maybe I was never gonna go in and do what I would have done before, but I could definitely see where if I had let myself, it would have felt like I hadn't done anything. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't making progress, or maybe I didn't have, like, as much reason to be proud of myself, but you're like, fuck that, because I do. I'm really proud. Because if it was easy for me to get my ass to the gym, I wouldn't have waited 2 years to go?
Exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, that in itself is a huge accomplishment.
Well, we did have to jump through some hurdles, the kinds that I haven't like wanted to deal with. Like just the smallest things I'm doing in the driveway, like logging in because it's a whole story, but it was stupid. But I was like, no, you shall not stop me from going to we made a whole plan. I told him last night too, I was like, listen, I'm planning to do this with you. but I do not have to wake up early tomorrow. So if I set this alarm, you're going with me because if I wake up early for no reason, I'm gonna be pissed. He's like, "Nope, we're going." And we both got up and we did it. Proud of us.
Nice.
Thank you.
Accountability helps too.
Yeah, I really liked going with him too. I don't think he liked going with me that much. We'll have to see. But like, I don't think I was as helpful as he thought I was gonna be. But I was like, I have my
Oh,
own gym anxieties too. Like I'm working through my own shit over here, you know?
you were probably helpful whether he wants to admit it or not.
Hopefully. Well, he at least like had someone to be with him. I just don't think I was, but like I was trying not to like teach him too much or correct or whatever, because I thought that would be embarrassing because I knew he was just as anxious as I was, but he was,
Mm.
like, frustrated, but then on the way home when he was expressing some frustrations, I was like, "This isn't really about me. He's going through a mental thing about this." You know what I mean?
I love that he's open to expressing that to you, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I was too. I was like, "Expand the container. Be a container of safety for yourself and others."
But I think there's, like, a deeper story to this because a lot of people struggle with consistently working out, and I think it's a lot deeper than the actual workouts.
Oh god, yeah, because, I mean, I could have done this at home. I have weights, you know what I mean? But there's just
Yeah,
this energetic situation that I fight all the time that is compounded by I don't think consciously I'm still saying rude shit to myself about working out or the lack thereof, but I definitely like even just that small pause just now, I was like, yeah, subconsciously it's there, like very you're lazy, you know what I mean? And I think for me, it was um, this is gonna sound like an excuse, but for me, it was better to just avoid the entire thing rather than to get back into some self-hatred spiral because I need to go, but I don't feel like going. Blah, 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 you know what I mean?
yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's super common because it's more about the underlying shame and critical self-talk than it is about the actual workout at all.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if you're like this, but as much as I preach 5 minutes of movement, it's better than no movement, I don't believe that. Like, I do on a conscious level, but I have to fight through shame every time "That's all I do," quote, unquote. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
same. Like, because I'm a very all or nothing person, so logically, I know, like, going on a walk is still a form of exercise and very healthy, but if I walk instead of run, I will beat myself up the entire time.
Yeah,
So
that's why running was so hard on me psychologically because if I took a walk break at all, I hated myself. The run
same.
might as well not have happened at that point because I didn't do what I set out to do. You set a goal, you meet the goal, and then you get to feel like you're on top of the world, but only for a couple hours because then you have some other thought to bring you down. Like, I'm not running as fast as, like
Oh,
watching
yeah.
someone on TikTok. Oh my God, they can run a 750 mile. Damn, I only run this. You know what I mean? Like it was always something.
Well, and especially since as I get older, I run slower. Like I had to stop wearing a Garmin because it's like I didn't even want to face like to even now I don't want to face how much slower I'm running than I used to run.
Well, and I am very affected by humidity and things like that. So like certain times of the winter I can run my best, which is crazy to some people because the cold air hurts their lungs. But
Yeah.
I also get incredibly hot. I don't sweat during a run like I'm supposed to. It's when I stop and my heart rate starts to come down, that's when all the sweat will come out. So like my neck and shoulders get very hot. I In the winter I will still wear exactly what I have on right now, a little tank top, because I just
Oh,
get so hot.
interesting.
Yeah. But then I mean, that's just how I feel internally. And then I get a little ill because I just ran in whatever degree weather in no sleeves. And that, affects you too. So running I want to be able to run 5Ks again. I'm going to try my very hardest to not allow myself to get into distance running again. It was not good for me after there was a time it was good. I did learn discipline. I did learn that I could do those things, but I don't value the training time that it took. Like, every Sunday running a fucking long run by myself and missing out on family time because after the long run, I'm exhausted. So I'd come home and
Yeah.
sleep. Like, I don't know these bitches who can, do their 10 miles and then go be a mom. I do not know how they do that. I had to sleep. I'd have to shower, eat, sleep. Like, that's what I had to do. And I don't value any of that stuff anymore, but I miss the running community a little bit, and so I'd like to be able to run 5Ks again.
Oh, that's a cool goal. Yeah, and it's manageable.
Yeah, oh,
Like
like
it,
that I have no
because
doubt I could run a 5K in a couple months if I wanted to. Not slow, not fast. But, like, I could jog a 5K, not
yeah,
today, but I know how to train, like, I've done that at all sizes and shapes, like, I know how to do that, so, like, if I want to, I can, but I just, and I'm hoping that my son will too, and even my daughter, so that we can do more. Because I like doing, like, the turkey trots and, stuff like
yeah.
that. Anyway,
That's the thing about like the 5Ks. I feel like they're more like community and family based as opposed
yeah.
to marathons. You just get like the straight up psychos. And I'm speaking
Yeah,
that from a place like I used to run marathons, so that's why I
yeah.
know.
I only ran 1. I've done lots of half marathons, but 1 full and I was out. But, I, for a minute, really found community because I was doing halves and the team that I was training with was really fun. But then when I switched to the full, I kinda lost my whole community, so,
Oh, interesting.
yeah. Well, they weren't doing it, and then I got hurt during training from a fall and from a strain. And so then my training group was, like, leaving me behind and whatever, and so I shouldn't have run the full. I really wasn't in shape to because of that happening in halfway between, like, halfway in this training season, but, I did because I was like, "Oh, ego, I already told people I was gonna do it." And then after that, I fucking hated running for so long that I, like, gained more weight, got slower, no one to run with, so it's been an interesting journey with running for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever go back to even running half marathons or like I don't even know if I could run a 10K. I'm just so burned out on longer distance running.
Yes, exactly. I Because we have the memorial run here for the bombing memorial, and it's a
Uh,
really big race. I like to participate in that every year. So I, for the last few years, have walked the half, and I think I'll continue doing that. Like, that was fun. I don't mind doing that because the training is just fun little walking, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just walking with
yeah.
someone and whatever, no big. And so I think I will continue to do that, but no, I have no when I think of a 10K also, I'm like, No, fucking 6 miles, fuck that." Like, no, no, not gonna happen. Well, do you have anything to share?
I do, and I
Let's
don't
hear
wanna
it.
rehash any of my trip drama because I talked about that last week, but after I came home, I just felt something like I just don't feel like I was meant to travel in that area of the world. Have you heard of I'm sure you have, I think it's called astrocartography?
Astrocartography? Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a reading and I just bought it off Etsy, and, like, she had good reviews, and so you put in, like, your name, birth date, time of
Yeah.
birth, all of
How
that
much did it
stuff.
cost? Because 'Cause I've been
It was
wanting to
only,
do
like, $30. I'll send you the
Okay,
link because she was really
okay.
good, and it was really detailed, and then she in the description, you can add, like, "Is there anything you wanna know?" Which in my mind, there was, but I don't like leading because it's like I didn't want to influence it in any way, so I'm like, "I'm just gonna get it and be open to receiving whatever it tells me." So And she did a really good job organizing it because it's like it's by love, money, like career success, etc. And most of the lines are like ideal, like places that you want to go if you want to step into your purpose or whatever. But there was a section of, I think it's called you would probably know this, the Chiron line or something like
Oh,
that.
Chiron, yeah, the
Chiron.
Wheeler-Dealer, yeah.
Yes, so that is your line where if you travel to those places along the line, then you will experience lessons that bring up wounds that you need to heal.
Didn't know this was a
And
thing. I'm not that familiar with astrocartography.
oh, interesting. Yeah, I will send you this link. I'm actually
Yes,
going to make
please,
a
because this is
note.
making me very excited.
I remember her name was Vera, but that's all I remember. But
Oh,
anyway, and
yeah.
also what I liked about how she organized it was, and I'll get into what I'm going to say, but she organized it because obviously these lines go all over the world, but
Yeah.
someplace, like for instance, one of my hot spots is in the middle of the ocean between Hawaii and US mainland. So it's not a
Hot
place I
spot
would
like a
actually,
good thing or no?
like a good thing because like all
Okay.
of my lines are going through it. And another hot spot is like up in like northern middle of nowhere Russia. So she organized it when she would list 5 or 6 like top places for each section, but it was based on places that's actually like safe or realistic to go because like I'm not going to go to like middle of
Yeah,
nowhere extreme northern
Antarctica.
Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah. um so and I guess that does lead to what I'm about to say. So from what is it called? Chiron?
Uh-huh.
So for my Chiron line, she listed 5 places. 2 of the places were Spain and Morocco. And I was
Jesus
like, that
Christ.
that is not surprising at all. Especially because I think I mentioned this in my whole story last week. I was put in many situations where I was forced to use my voice, speak my voice. I had to create my own physical and emotional safety. And as you pointed out, there were situations I should have been asking for help and I wasn't. So I'm like, these are all my core
Yeah.
wounds. So I'm like, oh, that's so
Oh, I would love to
crazy.
know what mine is.
Yeah.
Wow, because the only thing that I've done, I think on one of the sites that I have used for astrology in general, it has an astrocartography option or something, and I was interpreting these results myself, so I was just looking at what looked to be good, and it seemed like my best shit was up, like, in Pacific Northwest, which is where I feel called to be all the time.
Oh,
And
really?
so it wasn't a surprise to me, but there was, like, a lot that I didn't understand, so I was just like, "Okay." I just kinda wanted to see, like, a quick little thing, but yeah, I would love an actual interpretation,
Yeah.
man.
And now that I'm thinking about it, ours are probably very similar because one of my hot spots was the Pacific Northwest as well.
Yeah. Oh, that
So
doesn't
so
surprise me. So then now
FYI,
I
you
know
should
how
probably
come
not.
that no wonder when you say Spain and Morocco, my chest hurts because I was just like, "I don't
Oh, yeah.
know."
Because that would have been, yeah, ours are probably very similar. Yeah, for
Oh, I
those who
bet
don't
they
know,
are.
our birth charts are almost identical because we were born like a day and a half apart.
Right,
And
yeah.
in different locations, but kind of
Yeah,
close
so,
because
like, the only difference is that your rising is different, so everything falls into a different house, but, yeah, that's why we named our show Unquiet Soul, because we are Gemini suns, Leo moons, we are fucking loud as fuck, and we got a lot to say, and always felt like no one was willing to hear what we had to say, so here we are. What was I watching? This must have been TikTok, it was saying, depending on where your Saturn is where you have your dreams, but it's gonna be, like, hard to get to, but not like your goals, but, like, for instance, you have this thing where you, like, wanna be heard, So then you're gonna have to fight. You go through a lot of circumstances where you aren't heard until you learn how to make sure you are heard, shit like that, and I was like, whatever it was, I was like, "Oh, that's true for me." Whatever it was, I don't even remember, but I was like, "Oh, okay, interesting." And, so much. I have so much going on in my relationship house that I'm like, "Oh, okay, so it's relationship," and my relationships have always been the thing that's transformed me because I learned the most. I mean, that's the stuff I wanna talk about today is the shit I'm still learning about me in relationships, but that's so fucking cool that you found a link to and
I
now you know. Now we know. Well, let's look at this shit before we plan our trips.
I know. And
Were you
luckily,
just
like, the
blown
other places.
away?
Yes, because I would, and I even, like, sent a note back to her because I was like, "I didn't say anything specific, but this was exactly what I was looking for."
Is that why you did the reading?
Yeah, because I wanted to see, like, if there was anything about Spain and Morocco that was bad, and again, like, most of the places that she listed were, like, ideal places that you want to go. It was just this one little section that was, and it's not even that it's bad to go there, it's just it's gonna bring
Yeah,
up a
for
lot of
you, it's
shit.
gonna bring up the
Yeah.
shit, and it brought up the shit. Boy, howdy did it. That's so funny. Gosh, I didn't even know. I did not know that. I mean, it makes sense to me that astrocartography would still involve the planets, but I don't know. I did not know that there was a place that would. I am desperate to know. Was that the only place that?
Let me look. No, because I think it was, like, Sweden, like, the other places weren't really places that I would go. Let me check it quick.
I'd love to
Yeah,
know
and,
what it
like, the
is
another caveat
entirely.
is, and I think you'll appreciate this aspect because she does list places, but it depends on what's else is going on with the planets and stuff. So this isn't
Yeah, for
like a
transit.
yeah, this isn't like go move to this location immediately
Right. So
kind
they're
of
actually
thing. So the other places are Norway, Scotland, England, France, and Andorra.
good places or bad places?
Those are my Chiron line.
Oh
So
my god, interesting.
I will not be traveling to any of those places.
That's so interesting. Because Scotland was a place I considered at one point. Wow. I'm gonna have to look into this. I'm really interested because I don't know, sometimes I feel like fucking Oklahoma's not the place for me, man.
Well, if our charts are similar, like the middle of mainland America is like a dead spot. There's like no lines. Let me look at the map. Let's just assume that ours are similar because they probably are. Um, because I was curious about Chicago because I lived there for such a long time, but Chicago is
Oh.
like pretty dead. Um, yeah, like like Midwest, like middle of America's like there's nothing going through there. It's more like East Coast and West Coast.
I hope I'm brave enough one day. Yeah, that makes sense to me because whenever I'm in New York, I feel alive. Whenever I'm in the Pacific Northwest, I feel alive. Like I'm like, we're here, dudes. But here I'm just like, you know? I just always assumed it was because I was traveling, but
Well, that could be it too. But yeah, there's always like, well, even one of mine is like one of my hot spots is Indonesia. And like, I'm fascinated with Indonesia. I've been 3 times to like many different
yeah.
islands and I still want to go back.
What about Argentina?
I think Argentina was on there. Let me just look at the map.
That's the
Yeah,
only
Argentina.
international travel I've done.
Oh, so what was your experience in Argentina? Because like almost all the good lines go through Argentina.
Well, it wasn't great. I had a miscarriage there and
Oh,
it was
that's
a horrible
right.
experience.
Mm.
I mean, I think it would
Well,
have been
so
totally different otherwise, but
it's possible your Chiron line, because mine just misses Argentina, yours might go through it, so that's possible.
yeah. I'm gonna have to check this
Ooh,
out because it
yeah,
was
I'm
just
gonna
a
send
bad
you the
trip.
link, and I can't wait to see yours.
I know, I'll have to tell you. Oh my god, that's so exciting. And you found another way to believe in astrology.
I know, that's why I was like I couldn't wait to tell you because I was like, "You'll be so into this."
I am so into it. That's so cool. Also, just so you know, Scorpio risings are supposed to have I don't know, something beautiful happen in their love life or like creativity after tomorrow. So we'll see.
Ooh.
I
Yes, we
know.
will I'll keep you updated.
Yeah. I almost sent you a video, but then I was like, well, we'll talk about it. Um, I don't know because I just put this on our Patreon. I don't know if you saw this, but I fucking a couple things. So, I'm on several little astrology apps to learn from because they draw from different things. And I'm on the pattern and it does this thing where it's like it tells you the current transits that you're in and kind of what the lessons are and whatever. And I was looking at mine the other day and I've checked in with it several times while I've been in this pattern, but something struck me about this more than usual. And it was I'm supposed to be evaluating kind of how like my view and my pattern in relationships with men and the masculine inside of me. And I feel like I've gotten a pretty good understanding of my masculine and where I went all wrong with overuse of it and like no femininity. But
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I don't really know how to evaluate this. So I'm just gonna like ask myself, what is the thing who was I in relation to every man I've ever loved? And I just realized, like, because I was like, I know some missteps, but what was the goal? And I think overall it was I really wanted them to see my greatness, to see me, to know me, and to validate my greatness because inherently, obviously, I knew there was some good to me, but I wasn't really aware. I wasn't in love with myself. I was so ashamed of myself and so just in that self-hatred. And so
Yeah.
I was really relying, including my dad, but relying on these men to see me, to know me, to validate me so that perhaps I could do those things for myself. But instead, because I already felt not enough and not good, not worthy, not valuable, not lovable, everything they did, I assigned meaning to for confirmation bias, like just felt the weight of criticism and judgment and like I'm not enough. I'm not enough. And everything they've ever done, even if their intent really was to show me they loved me, it was never enough. And I mean
Yeah.
never. And so I've been thinking about that and I thought, well, what did they want? And I was like, oh, well, I mean, if we attracted each other, they wanted the same thing. I mean, including my husband. They wanted to be seen, they wanted to be known, they wanted me to see their greatness. And I couldn't see theirs because I couldn't see my own. Like I'm
Yeah.
nitpicking and shit bitching nonstop. And I just think about, I mean, I guess I have remorse because I think about the time I wanna say wasted, but then the other side of my heart's like, "Well, it wasn't wasted because you learned." But, like, for lack of a better term, wasted, but just, like, how much life I kinda threw at not being happy because I was viewing everything in front of me as a slight. I mean, everything. And just kind of building up those protective layers. Like, I want you to see me, but I'm not going to give you the real me to see. And I'm unraveling
Yeah.
too, kind of how much I did really want them to see me as strong and independent. I didn't feel any of that stuff, and I was just giving them one view of me, and I wasn't ready to recognize I needed to be soft, and I needed to be held and nurtured. So I've never given anyone very much of me. That's what this last year has really been about once I've discovered it, but, like, even it was not just 2 months ago that I realized, like, "Oh, I am afraid of trust," and I'm still breaking those walls down between my husband and me because I am so afraid of trust. Consciously recognizing that, I can go, oh, okay. And I'm starting to be able to see where that's showing up. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I think this might just be me afraid to trust. Okay. Okay. Word. I know what that is. I can work with this. But man, it's so deeply ingrained. I will still feel so righteous in the moment that I am
Oh, yeah.
smart and know what I'm talking about, you know?
Man, first of all, this is so relatable, but there's also so much to unpack. I don't even know where to start. I guess the
No.
beginning is like, I think the most relatable part of what you're saying is just the overall concept of putting on this mask and performing for love, yet being frustrated that the other person doesn't
Yeah.
love you for who you are. But it's like,
I
how
love the
can
way
they?
you
'Cause they don't.
interpreted that, yes.
Yeah, because and I've done this too, and so many other people have, but it's like they can't see you for who you are if you're wearing that mask.
Yeah. Which you become resentful of. Because A, you
Yes.
don't know you're wearing the mask. Truly, I didn't, you know? But it's like, that's the way you think of me, or they're seeing this wounded version of you and not the true you because my wounds came out very aggressive, very aggressive and
Yes.
reactive. And so, like, my husband would call me manipulative sometimes, and I'd be like, the fuck? You know, like, full stop, don't ever talk to me again. I mean, that'll get you a
Yeah.
silent treatment in this house for 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't do that kind of shit anymore, but I have, and very proudly. I mean, the lower I could cut, the better I felt. It like, "Oh, yeah, I really have control. I just made myself not speak to this man for 2 fucking weeks. Yes." But, like, I mean, really, like, it was the same as running long distance for me. It was all just self-sabotage. But, like, yes, I think that's when it really hit me was the first time I heard something similar like that was like, "Well, how could they? You weren't showing them." And so I'm still
Yeah.
trying to figure out when I'm masking.
Yeah, because in a way, it is manipulative, not in a intentional, deceptive way, but it's a protective mechanism.
Absolutely. Well, and the biggest way that I manipulate is to go, it feels scary to share the raw emotion right now, but what feels normal and natural is to revert this to anger and start a fight over
Yeah.
something that has nothing to do with how I'm feeling. And so then I'm like, and don't you think? And da 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 da, and trying to intellect the conversation, make you feel stupid, use words that I mean, all of it. This is what I say when I say I used to weaponize communication. I'm sure that I still do to some extent because I'm still unraveling all of this, but it's certainly not intentional the way it definitely was then. Like, I was absolutely there to kill you with my words.
Mm. Yeah, that's also resonates with me too. Because I think it's the Gemini, right? Like, we can be sharp with our words.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, well, and that's the air in general, the intellect, the mind, like so it's
Yeah.
stimulating that need for control and then you get to analyze. I will say, I again felt embarrassingly enough, but felt that I was in the right. I mean, I was just trying to squash you like a bug because you fucked up. I mean, I wasn't, I didn't know that I was trying to be vicious. I did want you to feel stupid because you clearly missed the mark there. But like, yeah, I mean, I didn't do that. I've only done that in relationships or if someone just took too many hits at me, I would just revert to like, I am so much smarter than you. I'm gonna outwit you, and so I would, and I did, and I was smarter than them usually in terms of communicating. I used words they didn't understand, and because God knows vocabulary was always important to me. But like I did not. I once I became aware that, like, I was manipulative, I tried to only use that power for good. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but I recognized, probably 4 years ago that there was some manipulative tactics in my communication, and I was trying really hard to, like, only use that in a way that was gonna promote goodness in a situation instead of, like, just the bullshit I used to take part in, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that's what I've been focused on the last like 24 hours because I wrote about this too, but I don't know why I care about this so much, but, like, I'm embarrassed because I don't like to be judged based off my music taste. There, I said it. So, I've been humming this song just kind of at random lyrics because I never know actual lyrics unless it's, like, one of
I
my favorite
know.
songs. So, I found myself, like, humming just a couple of these lyrics for months now, and a song enters my subconscious easily. So on TikTok the other day, I found out it was Brandy Carlisle singing The Story, and I saw this really good video of her singing it with Dua Lipa, and I was like, "Ooh, fuck, I really like this song," and I was like, "Oh my god, that's the song that I've been humming, weird." But I really liked it, like, the actual, like, music I really like, but I also really like the lyrics, but that's really what, like, I was listening to it on repeat because that's what I do, and I was doing Uber Eats
I do
yesterday,
that
so
too.
you do? Okay, because sometimes I feel embarrassed to say that, but I mean, I listened to it for, like, 2 hours straight because also I like to sing, and I like to sing karaoke, and this is a song that I kinda wanna sing at karaoke at some point in the future, so, of course, you gotta, like, learn the song
You don't have to
intimately.
explain anything to me.
Yeah, well, I'm into this song, dude. I'm so fucking into it, and so that's what I was like, "Well, I don't necessarily feel like I was made for anyone." Um I do believe in soulmates, and I do believe in twin flames and things like that. And so that's when I was started to cycle through like all the men I've ever loved, and I was thinking, okay, I if I no longer feel because God used to have been, I'll be like, I was made for you, just like I would have been like, yeah, me and you, bro. But I was just thinking, like all of the men, I can definitely see their purpose in me meeting them and how short or long the interactions were.
Yeah.
Like I know what I learned from each of those men, and it's so funny to me. But really, I had this moment where I was thinking of someone else, not my husband, and I was just like in harmony, like I was thinking really good, loving thoughts about them and just whatever. And for a second, I felt guilty, like, oh, whatever. And I was like, whatever. I mean, thankfully, I have a super cool husband. He doesn't care about shit like that. But also, like, I was just having a human moment. But I was like, no, because you know what? Like, this is what in love means. Like, because ever since I have cultivated that self love, I've determined like that's the only true love that exists is that energy that you share with others, and everything else is chemicals dopamine, adrenaline, serotonin,
Oh, yeah.
oxytocin, And so I was like, this is in love when two people are in their own love, in that loving energy, and it's like a synergetic exchange. That's what stays when the chemicals are gone because you are the one who derives that from you. And this is why it looks so not like love when the chemicals start to run down, because you got two people who don't even know how to love themselves.
Oh, I know. I was actually just talking to this woman a few weeks ago. She was telling me about how she will get like instantly attracted to people like based on like the prototype of her father. And I was trying to explain to her if you're instantly attracted to someone like that, it's usually a trauma bond because like, and I'm talking about people she's never even had conversations with. Cause it's like,
Yeah.
how can you be
Or she's like,
attracted to yeah, how can you, like, be attracted to or be in love with someone you've never even talked to? Like, so I'm like, that's usually a red
right.
flag. If you have that instant spark that usually people mistake as love, that's usually the trauma bond.
Yeah, I mean, you can learn some real good lessons there. That's for sure. Cause that's how pretty much all of my relationships have ever started was some instant dumb shit,
Yep.
where I went 0 to 100. And then they were like, "This is a bit not all of them actually. For a minute, like my ex-husband, he was a little like, this might be too soon, but then was also had his own codependency issues. So he's like, move
Yeah.
right in. Let's do it. Let's do it. Like let's get married within a year and a half of meeting. That's fine. Um, and then after him, I just went through a run of interesting. I can see where the shift happened because I went for him because he was easy to bring to me, you know what I mean? But then after him
Mm.
was me starting to go after men that did not show interest in me, like people who would push me away. And I was
Yeah.
like, no, because if I can get them to like me, worthy.
Oh, yeah. I've been in that cycle many times.
How many times
It's
did I have to do
exhausting.
that to myself? Literally, literally. I mean, sitting and breaking down why I went after emotionally unavailable men, finally, finally figured all of that out. I know that it's so intertwined with my protective factors, but still, again, I know I told you this a few times, but like I can see from a broad perspective, but I haven't had that paradigm shift yet. That just where I feel changed by the aha. And that shit doesn't really happen to me anymore. Cause that's kind of how all the other expansions of my consciousness have gone. Like it was like, oh my God. And then I felt all this unraveling
Mhm.
within me, and I was not the same person anymore. So I didn't really make those mistakes anymore, not subconsciously anyway. Like I'm still human, so I'm still doing dumb shit. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm really aware of my patterns there. But this and it doesn't surprise me that it's taking the longest because this is like the center of all my shit right here. So like I get it. It's going to take a minute, but sometimes it's frustrating cuz I am so short with my husband and I just don't like that about myself. Like I don't know why I do know why, but like I don't know how to get my subconscious to quit being so autopilot to just be snarky with him. Like cuz I'm not fucking like that with anybody else. I watch my tongue with other people. Recognize when I need to chill the fuck out before I speak or whatever, but with him, and he just gets all of it. And I'm like, "Arr."
Is he triggering something within you?
Yeah, yeah. He triggers lots within me. He's a Gemini moon. Um, and he's a Libra rising, and I'm an Aries rising, and he's an
I don't
Aquarius
know what any of
sun.
this means.
So Aries and Libra are sister signs. So, like, we're
Oh,
exactly
okay.
so if I'm an Aries rising, he's exactly opposite, and then he's a Gemini moon where I'm a Gemini sun, and then his sun is an air sign as well. And he has lots of Sagittarius placement, which is a sister sign to Gemini. So we're very like supposed to be so compatible. And I know that we are. He's just teaching me lots of stuff about myself. But yeah, I was just asked that's funny that you asked that because that's what I was thinking to myself this morning at the gym was what is he triggering that's making me and I know what it is because so much of his stuff is like the forgetfulness or like, cause he'll be like, well, you didn't say that. I'm like, yes, I did. He triggers a lot of my neglect wounds because if he
Mm,
forgets something, then I feel like I'm the only one who is responsible for remembering anything ever and da 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 da. Like, or if he just doesn't, he triggers my neglect and betrayal a lot. And so I just have to be more conscious of that's what's happening, but unfortunately, it's so fast, which is how all my reactivity has ever been, but
yeah.
he's the last person that I still have this reactivity with, and I think it's related to my fear of trust.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Well, especially, do you also feel like if he doesn't remember something that you say, does it trigger like, well, then I'm not important if it's not important enough for him to remember?
Okay, so subconsciously, that may still be there. That was something that I kind of recognized in terms of victim consciousness that, like, you're making this about you when it's not about you. So, on a
Mm,
conscious level, I don't feel that, but maybe subconsciously, I still feel that. A little bit of abandonment, too.
yeah, I could see that though. But the truth is, he's probably just forgetful, right?
Oh, for sure. Like, truly, on a conscious level, I take none of it personally anymore. I mean, I just
Yeah.
don't. When I recognize that I'm, like, doing that, I'll be like, "Psh, we are not doing this. Like, you already know none of that's true," like, and I'll stop and so maybe I'm not doing enough of the pausing to go, "It's okay that we felt that way for a second. feel it, release it, then move on. Probably doing a little too much dismissing because I've wasted so many fucking years overthinking everything that I don't want to. So probably I need to
Yeah.
pause and do the feel it, release it, then move. But yeah, no, I'm pretty like I really am aware of all the ways in which I made myself a victim in this relationship that are just not true. But subconsciously, again, I think that's going to be the longest to deprogram myself.
Yeah, especially because I think another big part of it is just how comfortable you feel with him. Like, you would be a
Yeah.
lot less likely to lash out at someone like me,
Oh,
but,
yeah,
you know.
no. Well, yeah, but it was always like that. Like, I would freeze or fawn with people who weren't in my family, and then unless it was just like, "You really fucking triggered me," and then I'd just say a quick
Yeah.
little kitty thing, and it'd be awkward, but we've moved past it. But with my family, they got all of it, and now it's really just down to him because but I do think it's because he's not fucking reactive back, where, like, some of the reason that I am better about that
Oh,
with my kids is because they are reactive back, and I can see, like, I hurt you with that. You know what I mean? I don't wanna be that way.
I know
And with
exactly what
him,
you're
he's
saying, like, you're actually, like, trying to get a reaction out of him too. That's another part of it.
ooh, I might be, yeah. Yeah. Well, and he's just so safe because he's not gonna yell at me, you know? Like, my kids, they'll yell at me, like, and I welcome it because I shouldn't have talked to you that way either. So, like, yeah, I think because he'll just look at me like I'm crazy and move on, and but I can tell the times that, like, I actually make eye contact with him and I see pain, that was something that was really contributing to all the, like, ideation along with feeling like my kids were off better off without me. Like, just seeing someone who's so nice and kind and loving just look at me full of pain from me, oh, I could not handle the shame that came. You know, I don't feel any shame anymore. But I am like, I don't wanna be this way. Like, I just wanna, like, move through this so that I'm not like this because it's a pattern that I've had in all of my intimate relationships. I don't wanna be
Well,
like that.
honestly, awareness is the first step, so I think it's amazing that you're even aware, and that's how you start to begin to unpack it.
Yeah, I just wish there was like, a trigger to, like, cause before to help me stop overthinking, I wouldn't necessarily even know I was overthinking, but I started a system where I checked in with my body, "Where am I tense? Why am I tense? Oh, I was just overthinking. I was fighting with someone in my head." I don't have anything like that where I can take that pause before the shit comes out of my mouth, cause it's just quick little shitty stuff that I say to him
I
all fucking
yeah.
day. You got any ideas for a way to
Well,
pause?
one thing that has helped me, and this does take practice, but as you're having a conversation with him, like, it's obviously you and your body and then him and his body, but I also like to take this position as an observer. So it's like not only am I active in the conversation, I'm also observing the conversation, meaning I'm also observing my emotional reactions and what's coming up for me. And having that
Wow.
viewpoint has helped me to pause before I speak.
Okay.
And it does take practice to get into because you're actually like effectively being in like two different places at the same time. But having
Yeah.
that position as the observer, because it's almost like on a nature documentary, you have someone in the wild, like looking at how
Yeah.
the lions are fighting or
Narrating.
mating, and they're just kind of like
Mhm.
making notes about what's going on. Like that's your role as the observer. Like, okay, what's he saying, and what does that mean, and what are you saying back, and what does that mean?
I wonder too if I just implement a pause period in all of our communication, that I pause for 3 sec like,
Or
start now.
that.
Before I say like, even benign stuff with no emotion, like, if I make myself pause before I ask him a question, speak to him, or listen to you know what I mean? Like, anything in that interaction, if I just make it a practice to pause, then the other stuff can come, like, that gives me an opportunity to observe, I just wanna watch the way I speak to him, because I just
No, I
don't like
love that because it's best to practice when you're not triggered. So yeah, like
yeah.
when you're having just a normal conversation, pause before you speak.
I
I like
wonder,
that.
he's so sweet too. He would role play with me. So I wonder we could actually have practice sessions where we talk
Yeah,
about
and he
things
would
that
love
aren't
that you're working on
upsetting.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's what's funny. He'll come to me with something he finds to be the most benign conversation. And I can't tell you how many times he's walked away going, never would have expected that to be so upsetting for you. Like, cause it just starts something and I get pissed like so quickly. Like, I mean, nothing. We're talking about nothing. And all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, okay, noted. Like, and just leaves the room. And I'm like,
He's like, "I just wanted to talk about your strawberry earrings."
literally, it could be nothing. I wish I could think of an example, but like, also, he's not always great at, like, timing. Like, in fact, he's terrible at timing, like, understanding that you just walked into, like, a shitstorm where I was really stressed about something, lost a document, whatever, and you're trying to talk to me about something that doesn't matter, and you didn't, like, let me get out of this space and be, like, giving you my attention. You're taking a divided, shitty part of me, and, like, you know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
on him a little bit, but, like, regardless, I don't wanna be a person who just, you know? So I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna practice, so
I
I
like
shall give you
that.
an update on that.
I was just gonna say that'll be a topic for next week. We can have an update on how that goes.
Okay, I'm excited about it. Let's see how much longer. Alright. Well, anything else?
I don't think so. Yeah, I'll send you the link because 'cause I'm looking forward to your astrocartography reading.
Oh my god, I'm really excited. Was she fast too?
It took about a week,
Oh,
but she had really good reviews, and, like, for the price, it was pretty
yeah, for
detailed,
35.
so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it was
yeah.
worth the wait.
Yeah, I'll do it because I really wanna know. Even though, like, every time I hear of anything, I'm like, "I don't know why you're doing this. You're never gonna be brave enough to move."
But that's just
But
it, like, you
I
don't
wanna
even
live the
necessarily.
Dawn life in a future version of myself. I wanna be traveling and, like, just staying places. So even if I never moved, I wanna spend more time in other places.
Yeah, and that's just it, like, you don't necessarily have to move to these places, like, because she even says in her, because she does, like, a little intro kind of explaining the different places, but she'll just go and visit a place, just, like, if she wants success in her career or whatever, she just goes and visits.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be your forever home.
Well, I will say my first keynote speech was in Seattle, Washington. Thank you so much.
Ooh,
That was exciting. Well, I hope you have a great week.
thank you, you
I'm gonna have a good
too.
week because I'm going back to the gym this week. We have a little schedule lined out.
Ooh, so what is your new schedule?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And then
Cool.
I'm gonna walk on the in between days because I gotta get more active. I'm having lots of shit come up from being 45 and inactive. So
Yeah, and again, walking is good exercise. I like to take mindful walks too.
yeah, I need to do more of that too. For now, it's probably gonna have to be not so mindful so that I get bored, man. I get so bored. I'm serious. Like my little brain just wants to do something, and I'm like, oh, especially if I'm lit up about something that I want to work on. I don't want to tear myself away from that to go do it, a walk. But
Mm.
I really do. I want to do a lot more things. Like, hey, okay, my new workbook is I've added it to our Patreon already. It's not releasing until the 23rd, but it's in there. I want to actually do the workbook as well, like alongside. Oh my god, I didn't even talk about this really quick. So I had a lady on my show, and I've been talking about so much, like, my purpose, our purpose is to go through stuff and share our light with others, right? Well, I had this lady on my show and she was talking about the same stuff that, the best activism is to love yourself, get, the ripple effect, the when you change the world around you changes, raise your vibrations,
Yes.
raise the vibrations of others around you. And then right after that conversation, I had a client session to where I was like, "Oh my god, this is what she means." Because she was like, "Actionable takeaway from this. Start sharing now. You don't need to be healed or have reached something. Every chance that you've learned something, share it," which is one of the reasons I'm sharing what I did today. But I this is on my heart to start a sharing circle where for free,
Oh,
for free, but people join, there I don't have anything, whatever, but some sort of format where daily people can check in and, share what they're learning, but then like weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever, an actual Zoom where people can join. So I started thinking about AA meetings for some reason, the way they went around the table and they just share their hearts. What have they learned? What does this step mean to them? Things like that. And I was like, yes. So I'm really wanting to do
yeah,
that.
I love that.
Okay, cool. So you'll be a part of that? Because I
Yeah, I'm
really I
in.
really wanna do that. Okay, and then I thought, okay, well, I also want to do this workbook alongside anyone else who may do it, but, like, take a look at it and see if you because it's a 30-day thing, and see if it's something, and then we can check in about that too. But I really do want to be sharing what I'm learning about myself from doing that work. And obviously I'm learning lots of stuff anyway, but like I want to like we have to be the starters of this community, and if enough of us start to
Yeah.
share that we have this sharing circle, because I truly don't want it's not gonna be a place for me to market myself, anything like that. I literally just wanna share, and I want other people to be doing that. Because when my client was doing so well, I was like, "Oh my god, you need to share it." Start talking to the people in your life about the things you're learning because A, it solidifies what you're learning, and B, like, this is how we change the world, one person at
Yes.
a time. So, yeah, I'm feeling really passionate about that. So, I would love
Yeah.
to join hands in that.
Yeah. Count me in, and yes, I'll take a look at your workbook and get
Okay,
back to you on that.
awesome. Well, I love your nails, by the way. You wanna show the
Oh, thank
audience?
you.
You
Oh,
guys,
they're evil
I've
eye.
seen I didn't even notice that, I just saw the glitter. I love
Yeah,
it.
I was still feeling some, like, residual energy, so I was like, "I'm gonna do some evil eye nails."
Awesome. Well, take a look at the workbook because, first of all, it's, based off Scorpio themes, which you're Scorpio rising, so take a look. Let
Yay.
me know what you think, and then we'll start
Thank you, I
on
will.
the 23rd will be our day 1. We're gonna do the fucking practices that are in this book.
Okay, cool.
'Cause I'm always like, "Oh, yeah, and then do this and whatever," and then I don't do any of it, so I'm like, "I wanna do it. I wanna actually follow along."
Cool.
Okay?
Yes, I will look
Have
at
a
it.
great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, can you just turn off your mic and camera and leave it up for a minute if it doesn't just finish because of that fucking outage, upload
Oh,
speeds
yeah.
are less.